Hey everybody, it's your bro Luke Feece. I wanted to do a draw my life. You know those little whiteboard draws that you do for about your life? I wanted to do that because I've had a pretty crazy life and a lot of people don't know about it. I want them to know the real story and how I actually overcame a lot of things. So let's just jump into this draw my life. Be warned, it might be a little sad. I was born in Anaheim, California, right next to Disneyland actually. My father was working on transitioning jobs from being a mechanical engineer and he was working towards being a patent attorney, and my mom left her job to focus on going to school to become a school psychologist. At 2 weeks of age, I moved to Los Gatos, California. That's where my dad grew up. So by 2001, this is where my brother was born, and you can actually check out his YouTube channel right here. But by 2002, we moved to Grass Valley, California, which is where I would spend the remainder of my days. In 2003, I had trouble making friends. I didn't really know a lot of people in this new city. By the time 2005 hit, I was probably in like 3rd grade. I met a kid named Brandon, and I still talk to him to this day. He's a great person and a great friend, and we used to hang out all the time. And by 2007, when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I met a kid named Andrew. Was a really good friend of mine, and me, Brandon, and Andrew, and a couple other friends would run around with our hands pointed as guns, pretending to shoot each other like kids do with their imagination, but the teachers didn't really like that. By 2009, I started getting bullied pretty bad. Kids would call me names like not just regular old nerd and stuff. They would say pretty derogatory things, and I remember being beaten up a little bit. When I was in 5th grade, people would throw me against walls, threaten me, and it was pretty hard. I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to learn, but I didn't feel safe at school. By 2011, that Brandon kid that I talked about, he was my best friend at the time. He moved to Colorado. He was one of my only friends. So the bullying got worse, and I went into 6th grade with a bunch of new kids that I didn't know, without my friend Brandon, into this new environment at middle school. And I got beat up even worse. I was totally scared to go to school. I remember my first day, one of my first days there, I got kicked and punched, and a lot of different situations happened. Oh yeah, in 2012, I got my head slammed against a pole. There was this kid that didn't like me, so he slammed my head against a pole. I got trash duty because apparently I was antagonizing him or something. I remember getting punched in the face for doing nothing. So yeah, middle school is pretty hard. But on the bright side, with lots of pain creates lots of anger, which creates lots of creativity. So by that time, after being bullied so much, I just got fed up, and I began to create my music. I wanted to learn guitar. When I was in 6th grade, I had a beaten down guitar. It was so beaten down that you know that end part called the nut where the guitar strings lay? It was broken, so I had to like duct tape it, and the whole guitar was beaten down. But I really, really, really wanted to learn guitar. I practiced all the time with this beaten down guitar that didn't even work. And by 8th grade, I was okay, but I wasn't like that good, and people started making fun of me for trying to learn guitar. I don't know why that's funny. They said I was really bad and they tried to tear me down. But that didn't tear me down because I loved guitar so much. So I kept pushing myself on learning guitar. All these years, 3 years of being in middle school, of trying to find a band and trying to like express my creativity after being beaten up and shut down, it made me stronger. So by 2012, I met 2 really, really good friends at the time, and their names were Tyler and Philip. And we started a band. We kind of sucked at the beginning. We started getting paid shows once we got a little better, which was pretty cool for me because I'd never gotten paid shows before. By 2014, the band kind of moved on, kind of fell out of the band because I was kind of wanted to do my own thing. And then they just moved on, which was fine. In 2014, remember that friend Andrew I used to play with when I was a kid. His dad was really into the filmmaking industry, and he's like a professional filmmaker. So I asked him, hey, I think I want to get into filmmaking. And he said, I think should just stick to music because that's what you're best at. That, in my mind, I thought, you know what? That's going to make me want to be a filmmaker even more. So I sold all my guitars and bought a Canon X810 to start filmmaking, and a Rode mic and some other equipment. By 2015, I started going downhill. I met some bad friends, but we were in a band, my second band, ended up not doing too well. And then that's when I first started smoking cannabis at 16. I was a teenager and it wasn't good for me at the time. And it took me down a bad path when I started drinking a lot. When I was a senior in high school, by 2016 or 17, I had this idea. There was a senior project that was presented to the school, and I wanted to make a feature-length film. And you can guess what it's called, $1 per day, the most viewed film on my channel. I tried to get a bunch of friends to do it. I had some friends helping produce it I had my friend Philip, who was in the band. Remember Philip, who I played music with in my first band? He was actually the star of the movie. And I got some other friends to help with the film too. But it didn't really work out. The first attempt, everyone kind of left and I couldn't find enough actors and it kind of fell apart. So I didn't finish the movie. And once I graduated high school in 2017, my life changed forever. I was going to go to a community college called Santa Rosa Junior College. That didn't work out because I got robbed at gunpoint, and it was pretty crazy. I went down a really bad path after that, and I got robbed at gunpoint when I was walking through Santa Rosa to Sonoma. That was a crazy story, and I think it made me realize that life can be very scary. But once I got home and realized Santa Rosa was too much, I got all my friends back together. Philip, Earl, some good friends that some of them I still talk to. Like the antagonist of $1 per day, his name was Fox, and I still talk to him and he's a good friend. I started going to a different community college called Sierra College in my hometown. And then we finally finished $1 per day in 2018, and I was really proud of it. But in 2019, I started posting a lot less, and I started doing more bad things. I actually lived in my car, and I became an alcoholic. I was not in a good place at all. I won't get into too much of the details, but I drove away my friend Andrew after around the time I was in Sierra College. My friend Andrew got a really good job at Nevada County Television, which is now Nevada County Media, and he started getting paid a lot. And so I asked, is there anything I could do to get paid? And they fired me off the internship and didn't give me any experience. So yeah, I don't really talk to them anymore. And Andrew doesn't talk to me ever since then. So that was kind of a hard loss because I just wanted to be part of the film industry and I felt pushed away. But that didn't stop me. In 2020, I kind of started making more films again. I started kind of creating. And then on March 8th, 2021, I quit drinking and I was finally free of drinking. And I felt really good about it. I started creating a lot more and being really creative after that. And my channel analytics went way up after I quit drinking. And I felt like things were gonna go great after I quit drinking. I used to be really angry and kind of quiet but weird when I was an alcoholic. And I started getting a lot more energetic and happy. And it fueled me to make good content on YouTube. Around 2021 or 2, my friends left. Philip threw me off the face of the planet for some reason. Tyler doesn't really talk to me anymore. Andrew doesn't talk to me anymore. So yeah, I lost a lot of friends through all that. But instead of whining about it, I kind of just want to prove them wrong through making good content and showing that I'm happy. And ever since then, I've been finishing up my associates at Sierra College, which I'm almost done with, and I make awesome content on my YouTube channel. And honestly, I'm in the happiest place I've ever been in. I just want to make this draw my life to show that no matter what place you're in, you can find a way out. I overcame a lot, and I'm really happy with the person I am today. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Feece Films.